In May 2026, roughly 12 hours after SpaceX listed its shares on the Nasdaq, Elon Musk crossed a threshold never before seen in human history, becoming the world's first trillionaire. This timeline illustrates the sheer scale of $1 trillion. Spending that fortune would take 31,710 years, roughly 3 times longer than all of recorded human civilization. Even veteran investors like Warren Buffett have observed that fortunes of this magnitude go far beyond the wildest imaginations of Ford, Carnegie, or Rockefeller. This chart compares the combined wealth of today's big tech founders to national economies. At roughly $3 trillion, their collective net worth lines up perfectly with the GDP of the 8th largest country on Earth. Political commentator Shankar Iyer highlighted these milestones, arguing that this rapid expansion of moneycracy represents a severe political risk for modern democracies. This massive accumulation of capital signals the birth of a deeply entrenched digital oligarchy, a system Iyer calls the Algo Raj. Historically, massive empires were built on steel, oil, and railroads. Gilded Age titans like John D. Rockefeller consolidated tangible physical assets to command their industries. Today's tech hegemons operate on a completely different architecture. Their empires are built on intangible algorithms, with astronomical valuations driven by future projections. This dual-axis column chart shows the intense disconnect between their market worth and actual sales. SpaceX reached a $1.77 trillion valuation, while generating only $18.7 billion in revenue. For context, that is less revenue than the discount retailer Dollar Tree, yet Dollar Tree's market cap sits at a modest $21 billion. As this visualization shifts into a pie chart, you can see that a dozen tech stocks now account for over 40% of all U.S.-listed equities. By sheer volume, these 12 companies have become the market itself. They maintain this dominance by positioning themselves at the vital choke points of human interaction. Google commands nearly 90% of global search traffic, while Meta's social platforms reach 3.3 billion people, half of humanity. The hardware layer is similarly constrained. NVIDIA controls 80% of the market for artificial intelligence chips, and Amazon's web services secure a third of global cloud storage clients. By securing these bottlenecks, this oligarchy has amassed a level of shadow market power that operates completely outside the guardrails set up by traditional regulatory bodies. This economic dominance translates directly into military capability. For the U.S. government, the race to develop artificial intelligence is essentially Manhattan Project 2.0. Yet there is a departure from the 1940s. The original nuclear initiative was a publicly funded government operation. Today, the most critical defense technologies are funded, owned, and operated by the private sector. Intelligence agencies and the Pentagon now rely directly on Microsoft, Amazon, and Google to build and maintain their joint warfighting cloud capabilities. Crucial defense solutions, from securing satellite communications and tracking missiles to deploying advanced AI analytics, are outsourced to private firms like SpaceX and OpenAI. When a sovereign state relies on a handful of private tech companies for its basic military logistics and intelligence, its ability to check the advance of those same companies is severely compromised. Digital dominance demands algo allegiance. Invisible code dictates what populations see, whose voices get amplified, and what facts get quietly buried in the feed. In modern warfare and geopolitics, this digital superiority dictates the flow of public sentiment. Because tech hegemons own the largest social media platforms, the volume dial on the global public square is controlled by executives sitting in private C-suites. Governments are scrambling to react. In China, President Xi Jinping initiated an ideologically driven crackdown to forcefully constrain the influence of these massive tech firms. The United States faces a different dynamic, where political figures are pushing for the government to take direct equity stakes in the leading AI giants to keep pace with their growth. Heads of state now grant tech CEOs the red carpet treatment reserved for foreign dignitaries. Executives like Tim Cook effectively serve as diplomats-in-chief, navigating high-stakes geopolitical minefields. The debate has shifted toward a single critical question: who holds the ultimate authority to regulate how this technology is utilized? Democracies face an unseen challenger. They must aggressively write the rules for the fourth industrial revolution today, or let the Algo Raj write them.